Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clay, and I am the Bucks believer. Earlier today, Milwaukee made their biggest trade of the offseason so far, acquiring Grayson Allen from the Memphis Grizzlies in exchange for Sam Merrill as well as 2 future second-round picks. Let's start by breaking down this trade from the Bucks' perspective. In Allen, they are acquiring an intriguing former first-round pick who started 38 games last season for the Grizzlies. Allen also possesses some valuable playoff experience as he played 23.2 minutes per game in the Grizzlies' first-round defeat at the hands of the Utah Jazz last postseason. Allen's best trait is that he is a knockdown three-point shooter. Over the course of his career, he has made 38.1% of his shots from beyond the arc and done so on decently high volume, taking 7.7 three-pointers per 36 minutes. Allen is particularly great on catch and shoots in the corners as he has made 42.5% of those looks over the course of his career. He's going to be able to space the floor for isolation players like Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton at a high level because he will always have gravity as a knockdown catch and shoot guy for those players. He also has shown flashes of being a positive as a movement shooter over the course of his career. Allen is particularly great off of relocation jump shots as he's terrific at realizing where his defender is and finding a spot on the three-point line where that defender will be unable to close out to him to contest his catch and shoot three-point attempt. I will be intrigued to see if Allen is able to run the inverted pick and roll at all with Giannis Antetokounmpo, as that was the go-to play that the Bucks ran with Forbes last season, and with Bryn being gone, they need someone else to run that play with alongside Giannis. Allen unfortunately doesn't do too much in terms of shot creation. He possesses a solid floater game, but other than that, he doesn't have a great pull-up mid-range shot and doesn't get to the basket, so I don't see him being a pick-and-roll ball handler. Still, he's going to be a valuable offensive player because of his high-level three-point shooting. The defensive end is not as good for Allen as he sometimes can struggle, but overall he's pretty solid at guarding ones and twos, standing at 6'4", 198 pounds with a 6'6" wingspan. Allen isn't any sort of terrific defensive playmaker, and he's not someone that you want switching up the lineup because he's not quite strong enough to guard some of the bigger wings in today's NBA. But in general, I think that he will be fine in the postseason, and he's certainly an upgrade defensively over what Bryn Forbes was last year for the Bucks, as he fell out of Milwaukee's rotation completely. With Allen, the Bucks are probably not getting someone who's going to start for him in the playoffs as he did for the Grizzlies last season. He also probably won't be one of their first guards off the bench, as George Hill and Pat Connaughton project to be the favorites to possess those roles. Even with that being said, I think that there's a very real path for Allen to average 15 or so minutes at most in the postseason, and that type of innings eater is very valuable for Milwaukee, especially when you consider that Allen has traits that could make him a valuable player on both offense and defense. Now that we've discussed what the Bucks will be receiving in this trade, let's dive into what they will be giving up. Of the 3 assets that Milwaukee is losing here, I think that Sam Merrill is the most valuable. I've always been a bit higher on Merrill's potential than the rest of the Bucks fan base, as he was my favorite of their 3 rookies last season and the one that I thought possessed the clearest path to rotational minutes for next year. Merrill played sparingly during his rookie year for the Bucks as he appeared in just 30 games. However, in that limited playing time, Sam was able to showcase that he has the potential to be a knockdown shooter from beyond the arc. He made 21 of his 47 three-point attempts and did so in a variety of ways. He showed flashes of being a pull-up shooter, a catch-and-shoot guy, and someone who can make shots off of movement. This movement shooting was the area that intrigued me the most, as he had also flashed signs of being an excellent movement shooter during his time in college at Utah State. I thought that he could have stepped into that Bryn Forbes role at a very high level next season, as he had shown that he could run that inverted pick and roll play as the screener with Giannis Antetokounmpo last season when Forbes missed a couple games earlier in the year. Merrill did a great job of knocking down those wide open catch and shoot threes from above the break, and I thought that this potentially could have been a pet play for Milwaukee moving forward. Merrill also has shown some on-ball potential, although I definitely wouldn't quite trust him to be an on-ball player in the playoffs just yet. The point that I'm getting at here is is that I don't necessarily think that Allen is going to be a huge upgrade over Merrill on the offensive end of the court next season. The area where this is certainly an upgrade for Milwaukee is on defense. Merrill really struggled to defend at the NBA level last season, as he struggled to keep NBA point guards in front of him, and also was not an impactful team defender who struggled to be in the right position at certain times. Allen is not necessarily a positive on defense, but he's also not a huge negative, so just being a neutral makes him an upgrade over Merrill as well as Forbes at that backup shooting guard position. This is still a gamble for the Bucks front office to be taking. They're adding about $2.5 million to their tax bill for next season, and that's before including the fact that that will be exponentially added to based off of how many millions of dollars they go into the tax next year. The Bucks also gave up 2 other assets in this trade in those 2 future second round picks. Personally, this is not a trade that I would have made. While I do view Allen as an upgrade over Merrill, I don't think that that is a significant enough upgrade to warrant giving up 2 second-round picks and taking on extra salary. To me, this is poor allocation of assets, as those second-round picks could have been used in a better way. Even with that being said, there's a chance that I am completely off about this trade. No one knows Sam Merrill's developmental curve better than the Bucks front office and coaching staff, and if they view Allen as a significant upgrade over Merrill, then this is definitely the type of trade that they should be pulling the trigger on. Grayson Allen is someone who's going to be ready to be a rotation player right away for them next season, and considering the Bucks are in a win now window, he's definitely someone who helps them to accomplish their goals. While I don't love this trade, I definitely can understand the Bucks' thought process in making it, so I definitely will not fault them too much in pulling the trigger. Let me know what you thought of this trade in the comment section down below. Do you think that Milwaukee made the right move, or are you with me in that there's better ways that the Bucks could have upgraded their roster? Also, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video, especially if you are a fellow Bucks believer. This is the place for you. Thank you for watching today's video. I think that I've covered everything that I wanted to cover, so that's going to be it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all again